Impromptu gatherings of family and friends always gives you that comfort feeling where you can just pick up the phone and connect, meet up with people and just have anything that's available in your house. However, it can be so taxing to put on a meal or even organize an appetizer that gets done in about 30 minutes. In the meantime, the guests arrive. My Asian inspired muffins, though bursting with flavor and the sense of the Far East, are easy to get done with ingredients readily available in every kitchen. But at the same time, it's a lavish fare that goes out, filling your tummy and also ensuring you have that perfect dip with it. Let's get to creating it. When you're pressing for time and you want to create these gorgeous muffins, it's so simple. Just preheat your oven to 200 degrees Celsius and in the meantime ensure your pan is nice and hot. To that I'm going to take about 30 grams of yellow butter and just allow it to melt while adding in the spices. These muffins just require perfect grilling, and into this I've put a stalk of lemongrass just to infuse with the butter and give you those sharp Far Eastern flavors. As this scents, in goes 3 cloves of garlic finely minced along with the heat that comes in with ginger. So I'm using nearly 1.5 inches of finely minced ginger, bringing in all those sharp flavors yet scented with the grape scents that we are trying to achieve. As you saute this, in goes 1 chipotle pepper, slightly minced, just so that you get that specks of color in your gorgeous muffins. Sweating this for just about a minute so that it infuses. Now it's all about adding all the vegetables to spice this up. 1 medium-sized red onion cut into dices along with 1 leek slit into half and cut into semicircles. Just sautés really well together till they get soft and translucent before adding in the other vegetables. 1 medium-sized carrot just blanched, cut into small dices going in, along with some haricot beans blanched as well. So just cut them into roundels and saute them so that they just get that little bit of crunch. With these you add in all the other vegetables, that is half a zucchini cut into dices, half a squash cut into dices, along with 1 red pepper cut into dices. Saute all this so that they absorb each other's flavor and are bursting with the zest that you need for this Asian muffin. While the vegetables have retained their crunch, no Asian food is ever complete without a splash of some light soy sauce. So about 5 ml of light soy sauce going in, just giving it that Asian influence yet so versatile in the making. So allow this to saute for another minute and give it a final sprinkling of some spring greens or spring onions. Just put 2 bulbs finely shredded on top and this is ready. All you need to do is cool this down, and now let's get to creating that glorious muffin mix. As we allow the vegetables to cool down on the side, creating these muffins employs wet ingredients mixed separately and dry ingredients mixed separately as well. Into a bowl goes in about 200 grams of refined flour along with just about 50 grams of semolina. Semolina just adds to the crunch that this muffin requires. Into that you give it a fine sprinkling of some celery sea salt, along with some freshly milled black pepper, and lastly about 2 heaped teaspoons of baking powder going in, because the vegetables having weight will not be able to rise without it. So allow all this to mix well with each other, and it's time now to get the wet ingredients moving. With the dry ingredients well mixed, now is the time to get the wet ingredients moving. So lightly whisk 2 eggs. To that you add about 50 grams of Parmesan cheese, and though not Asian, they just add to that zesty influence that is required. It just gives it that perfect flavor contrast that is needed into this. Along with about 150 mils of cold milk. So just put that in, whisk it all well. Into this, you add in some oyster sauce. So about 50 ml of oyster sauce going in, 1/4 of the bottle roughly. Just whisk it all together, and this is what gives it that sharp flavor, so typical with the Orient. As you mix this, it's now time to infuse it with some smoked sesame oil. So about 40 mils of smoked sesame oil into this emulsion, and your wet emulsion is ready. Now comes the part of just mixing in all the 3 separate ingredients together. So into the dry mix firstly goes all the grilled vegetables. Just allow it to lightly coat with the flour so that they stay suspended in the muffin. And it's time now to add in all the wet ingredients. So just add the entire wet emulsion in and lightly fold it all together. Forming a perfect slurry. Though you find the batter a little liquidy, the semolina is going to bloom and absorb most of the moisture. Into this, you just add 3 tablespoons of finely shredded cilantro or coriander leaves and lightly fold it in. Herbs just elevate this Asian muffin. Grease your muffin molds with a light spray of olive oil and just keep adding about 2 tablespoons of this light and airy muffin mixture into them. While this batter gets you about 20 muffins, they go bang into a preheated oven for just about 15 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius. In the meantime, let's get to creating a Szechuan barbecue dip to pair along with this. So into a bowl, I've got about 200 mils of yogurt. I've just whisked it so that it's smooth. Into this, I'm going to add about 20 to 30 ml of extra virgin olive oil just to give it that texturized feel which is tasty, yet people will keep wondering as to what have you put into it. Along with that goes some barbecue sauce. Use any one. I'm using a spicy habanero BBQ sauce. About 30 mils of that going in, and now is the time to add some Szechuan chutney in. So out here I've got a Szechuan chutney, about 50 grams of this. A slight sprinkle of some rosemary, lavender, sea salt, and your dip is ready. All it requires is a gentle whisk and giving you that perfect color. While this pairs gorgeously well with the muffins, it's also a great combo for a chip and dip. Whisk this entire thing well together for a minute to a minute and a half so that everything emulsifies really well, and put it into a fancy bowl and chill it. Pour this into a bowl, chill it, and it's time to check on the muffins. "15 minutes of allowing these muffins to bake. They've got that perfect golden brown texture on top. Take these out, allow them to cool down slightly before serving them in the most crudest of fashions. I just like to stack it on a wooden board along with the dip on the side. "10 minutes of allowing these muffins just to settle down and absorb each other's flavors. It's time to plate them and enjoy them. I hope you enjoyed creating this gorgeous version of an Asian-inspired muffin, pairing gorgeously well along with the Szechuan and Habanero BBQ Dip. Don't forget to share loads of love by hitting on the like button, and as always, don't forget to subscribe.